Who religiously takes food pictures before eating? Who posts them right away? Who follows like a zillion food Instagram accounts? Who has multiple accounts to just follow food accounts? Oh, it's just me then. All right. So, y'all, I'm Sushma Konappa, and I've been eating all my life. And for all you know, Foodie could actually be my middle name. That's what an Indian Thanksgiving looks, by the way, because we love food, we talk food, we eat food all the time. And of all the foods out there, bacon is my lifeline. I love bacon so much. I practically carry it in my car. I pay for food. That's actually my first Tennessee card. I'm not kidding. When I just moved here, I saw people frying potatoes with a fat I'd never seen. I asked my coworkers, why are they cooking in pork oil? And there was like a roaring laughter, and my friend said, Sush, that's bacon grease. I was like, what? That's lard. Bacon drippings. That's what we cook our food with. How did I miss bacon in this thing? Oh, well, you can't really blame me if this is what the world sees in the news, can you? I and much of the world have very well assumed that Americans eat fast food and they maybe never cook at all. So one day while ringing my lunch, my cafeteria girl asked me, girl, where's your cornbread? I was like, Crystal, I'm cutting down on carbs. And she was like, laughed at my face, went and bought some cornbread, crumbled it, and put it on my black-eyed peas and poured sugar over it. One bite took me to heaven. Since then, I've been intrigued and fallen deeper and deeper in love with Southern food and people who cook it, of course. It's been a fun ride eating Nasty Princess. Before you imagine any further, it's fried chicken with biscuit and gravy. A big part about embracing culture for me is embracing food because it reflects culture's history, values, lifestyle, and beliefs. The more I dug deeper, I learned that the food here is sublime and as sweet as sweet tea. I learned the differences between soul food and Southern food, and we almost use them interchangeably. Although it's important to know that if it predominantly came from black neighborhoods, it is soul food. Very soon, I also learned that there is a discomfort level when we are exploring Southern foodways. If we're talking about high-end traditional Southern cooking, then we are invariably talking about plantations and slavery. Because this is where all these recipes came from. There is an enormous potential for awkwardness and offense. But all these pieces are woven in together. You can't be possibly talking about Southern food without talking peanuts, okra, sesame, and all the other soul foods here, because these techniques have been part of the African diaspora. All the well-known soul food were created by enslaved persons. And my chef friend Chris once told me that they would use, while cooking a hog, every aspect of it. That's how chitlins, pot liquors, and bacon grease came about. South Belt is called the stroke belt, and they have fat-fueled diseases, diabetes, hypertension, stroke, and they all blame it on the Southern food. How can we get to the fit land without forgetting, shaming, and blaming our traditional soul food ways? Of course, by eating less, starting, and more importantly, we have to go back to our roots. Southern food back then was farm to table. They were organic, they were local, they were sustainable. To save ourselves, we need to go back to home cooking. Home cooking, a cooking with no G. And this is not at all the cooking I'm talking about. Home cooking which empowers widespread equality. And let's park the gender equality for another talk. It's also important for us to educate ourselves with food knowledge. We can start by shopping for local produce at farmers market, and we need to learn how to pair vegetables, learn how to season them, and innovate just as our ancestors did. So where do we go from here? I can't think of a bigger dream than Dr. King's vision, the vision of the table of brotherhood. As Mr. Egerton said, Southern eaters have a responsibility to pay down the debts of pleasure to the enslaved African cooks and farmers. It's important to rewrite the history of African food and drink, which includes American food and drink. American food is not just fast food. It's food from all over the world, the indigenous as well as the naturalized foods and traditions. I actually once heard a reverend say that sugar, salt, and bacon grease are the holy trinity of Southern cooking. And I can confidently tell you that the secret of a very happy life is love, peace, and bacon grease. It's soul food, y'all. I trust it can transcend differences and work its magic. So for now, let's hope we can put some salt in everyone's mouth. Thank you.